Yo, we got Johnnie Guilbert, the rise and the fall of Bryan stars. Don't know who this is, but we're gonna get straight to this video. Simple.
This is a video made by FXK Nate, and it is called The Untold Rise and Fall of Bryan Stars. It came out 13 days ago now. It only has 775 views, so run it up. It's actually a
Y'all know what's crazy? Y'all literally recommended this video to me, and literally the comment ended up, well, that comment ended up getting like 60 likes, bro. Y'all really want this video. I don't know who this guy is, honestly.
really good video.
Wait,
so
is this Lorraine boyfriend, I think?
Thought we would watch it live, and I would give my input on it. This guy's really cool though, and I really respect his opinion because it's very honest, and it's not just like a fuck Bryan Stars show, which I see a lot of people just kind of do in the world of the internet and everything. They just,
bro, Johnny, if you don't get straight to this video, cause bro, it gets to a point.
just like, fuck this guy, fuck him. That's easy to do, but it's not necessarily always like that, even though there are a lot of things you could say that towards.
5 years ago today, on the dot, December 18th, 2017, Bryan Stars would upload his final video. From a once prominent creator with the world in his eyes to a cold husk of his former self. What went wrong?
Who is this? I don't know. I never heard of this guy. I never heard of this guy. I'm thinking this little Ray boyfriend or something. It's really not.
Wrong with Bryan Stars.
The rise.
And I think I want to say this too. I mean, a lot of people I don't think realize this, but me and every single pretty much ever, I mean, there was probably some MDE members that weren't a fan of him, but at least for myself, I'll say I was a big fan of him. And the reason why I met Bryan was because I went to his show on the Bryan Stars tour, which he did his own tour, and I went to the second tour, and I saw Catching Your Clouds, and I saw D-Fizz, who I was a fan of, and Vincent Sear and Bryan.
Never heard of him, bro.
And that's how I got to meet him. Seeing his downfall.
What you mean his downfall though? What chat? Tell me what happened. Like I don't know what happened. What? I mean, I guess the show. I guess the show is gonna tell me what it is. What happened? Bro, it's crazy. I really live under a rock, bro. It's crazy, bro. I promise you, y'all. When I tell you, bro, I don't watch none of these creators without y'all. I dead serious. Don't watch any of these don't watch any of these creators that y'all watch, bro. Like I'm only gonna watch it with y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I really like exploring new content creators too, like with y'all, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it won't feel right if I'm like watching a video and recording it myself and I'm giving a reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Fall and shit is just as weird for me as it is for the average fan, except that was kind of, you know, obviously implemented into his life.
Hello everybody. The rise and fall genre is extremely oversaturated. However, a certain YouTuber has slipped through the cracks. A YouTuber that was at one point my favorite.
Very true.
Bryan Stars.
I agree
Unless
with
you're
that
an emo loser in the early 2010s, like
emo loser, you already downplaying my man's like that, bro. Bro, that's bro.
I was. You probably think you've never heard the name Bryan Stars, but you have. You may be shocked to know that a YouTuber who exploited minors for money, forcing those minors.
Wait, they met? You know, I wasn't really listening to him for a second, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, what?
Minors to perform sexually suggestive.
Dude, true as.
Wait. Skin and badges. Is this his boyfriend? No, man, like his ex-boyfriend. Did he swing them ways for a second or no, bro? Like it. Dirty Whisper challenge, bro. That's kind of crazy, bro.
Fuck though. Like, look at this. Could you imagine? Like, I was a kid, so I would do whatever. I was probably 15, living at his house. 16. I was probably 16 during this, and I was living at his house because it was either that or apparently I talked to my mom recently about it, and it was either. I was very depressed and shit and going through stuff. So I was either going to be, you know, I eventually somehow got to meet Bryan, convince him to like him try to help me become a YouTuber. It was either that or I would get sent to military school because I was not going to regular school and I was having.
Bro, listen, I ain't mean to get you all Johnny Gax, but bro, it's a lot of people and I'm pretty sure some of y'all probably going through this. You know what I'm saying? It's either your family, you in high school, you got a job, now they want you to pay rent. Let's be honest here, bro. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. They doing y'all wrong. They just trying to take y'all money. Y'all hard working money, bro. Like, it gets to a point. And then, like, sending people to the military, if they don't want to go to the military, why would you, like, if they don't want to go to the military, don't send them to the military, bro. You just want them to leave the house. That's what I'm getting at it. And when you go to the military, your whole personality change, bro. Like, then you eating this food that smell like garbage. Like, it's just like, it gets to a point, bro. Like, just to get a little stronger, get money from the U.S., bro. Like, bro, listen. It's different ways to make a lot of money, bro. You could be a millionaire making a clothing brand, YouTube, TikToker. TikTok, it depends how you do it. And, you know what I'm saying? Sponsorships, bro. It's a lot of things you can do. It's a lot. It's just, I can't name it off my head. Cooking videos, ASMRs, Twitch. It's a lot of things you can do. But for people your parents to try to get you to go to the military is outrageous, bro. Did you go to the military? That's okay then. Okay. Like, if y'all holding something in chat, I know y'all probably listening to me right now or looking at me right now and like, this dude just talking crazy. Bro, if it's a situation where you don't want to do something, say it out loud, bro. Okay, they gonna get mad, okay? They try to put you out. You got other families, bro. And then they're gonna realize, bro, I should respect his decision, bro. He's a young man, young woman. You know what I'm saying? Simple.
Having a lot of depression episodes, and
don't take the
my
bullet,
dad
bro.
died, and I was going through all this shit. So it was either like, do this, or
what?
like I got the opportunity. And this
RP to
was
his
before
dad.
everyone thought people could be like creeps. Really, we didn't really think about that too much. But like, he fucking with a 15-year-old or whatever, 16-year-old was filming videos, big penis, dirty.
Whoa. What you mean? He was messing with a 15-year-old.
Really, we didn't really think about that too much. But like, he fucking with a 15-year-old or whatever, 16-year-old was filming videos, big penis, dirty whisper challenge. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I would not do that now. It's crazy how times have changed, man. That's fucking wild. And I was encouraged to
They
do
even
this
get a
shit.
lot of
And then
views for
also
him.
during this time, I was the first product of what he started to manage, which meant he would take 20% of our income from everything we
So,
would make.
he got to put
me
on-
being this young, he started taking 20% of every little dollar I started making, and then we eventually
Part ways.
start having more people incorporated into our lives, which he also started taking percentages from.
Of acts and
That's
YouTube videos.
disrespectful, bro.
Borderline
That's so
sexually
lame.
harassing people in his videos. And even
I would have took like 10%, but 20%, it gets to a point, dude. Like, baby, no shade, bro. Like,
covering up for registered convicted sex offender Austin Jones has only been covered in length once. The only
What?
rise and fall video I've seen about
don't tell me he a pedo.
Bryan Stars is a video by the Cozy Representative. I'll leave a link
Amazing video. This one, actually, I feel like this video that we're watching right now, though, I think has to do a little more with like my side of it, like with the MDE world and all that stuff, and my own upcoming with him. Cozy Representative is like one of my favorite channels, and he's a good friend, actually. He's great.
Are you still friends with him?
to his video in the description, since he was kind of the first person to do a rise and fall on Bryan Stars. But other than that, it doesn't seem like any of the popular rise and fall content creators have actually talked about Bryan. The story of Bryan Stars has stayed strictly within the emo scene community. You may be confused
Yeah, that video's
how a guy like
fantastic.
this is a prominent figure in a community
That's
like
hard.
that, but it'll all make sense very, very soon.
I ain't gonna lie,
Bryan
chat.
Star-
I might have to do an interview on emos. I ain't never seen nobody do that before like that, for real. I hardly see anybody doing that. Like, doing an interview on trends or emos and, like, straight guys, what their opinions are, like, that
Stars, full name Brian
crazy
Odell,
video.
was born on May 22nd, 1990 in Sendai,
Dang.
Japan. So obviously Bryan Stars
Hold
is
on.
not Japanese, but he lived in Japan because
This is all true, by the way. He was born in Japan, and it's because his family, his family was like missionaries. They were like super religious and stuff.
that's where his parents worked, and he even says by the age of 3 he could speak English and Japanese pretty well. Bryan was very happy in
trying to
Japan.
be
In
like
a Draw
him.
My Life video, he referenced this time as the happiest years
I
of his
never
life.
watched this.
However, Bryan's dreams of finding a kawaii waifu were cut short, and at the age of 8, he and his family moved to Texas, where he traded in his isekai lifestyle for the chance to meet a muscular tomboy instead. Not a bad trade-off, to be honest. I mean, it could have been worse. He specifically struggled a lot in his early years in America because he didn't speak English fluently and wasn't super in touch with American culture. And honestly, it sounds like a really challenging thing to go through, to be the curly-headed blonde kid who can barely speak English with a Japanese accent, and probably made him a super easy target overall, and it must have been really challenging at such a young age, and I do genuinely feel for him on that. Eventually, Bryan developed an interest in news and journalism. In high school, he made a documentary about the energy crisis in America, where he won 3rd place in a competition at his high school. This competition was hosted by C-SPAN, and Bryan was given $1,000 and had his documentary broadcasted on national television. When he went
What?
to college, he started doing doing an internship with NBC where he would
I'm just so impressed by this guy getting all this part right. That's impressive. That's some deep dive shit.
interview musicians at local shows.
He must really know him. Is that your best friend before Jake or something? Like, what happened? Do they even hang out to this day, though? Like, that's my real question. Like, what happened to him?
And now this is where Bryan's story truly begins.
That was some like really in the
snap.
inside of it.
Bryan rose to prominence on YouTube because he interviewed, bands in the emo scene, metalcore, hardcore, Warped Tour community. So I'm not going to go through every fucking interview he did, every subscriber milestone and all that shit because it's unnecessary and it would take forever. But I do want to explain what these interviews were like if you weren't familiar. I'm also going to be speaking on the interviews based on how they were perceived at the time. Pretty much everyone loved them. And I'm personally of the belief that
These
a
interviews
majority
were
of the
so
band
good.
members genuinely enjoyed
I
doing
never
interviews
watched
with
them
Bryan.
before.
This one
Whether
was.
they were laughing with him or at him is yet to be determined, but they did enjoy it at the very least. But I watched tons of Bryan Starr's interviews with Asking Alexandria, Black Veil Brides, Falling in Reverse.
Dude, this was when like Ronnie.
With a pickle? You interviewed him with a pickle? Why is he holding your hand with a pickle in his... Ugh! I don't know. For some reason, bro, I really feel like I wish I was like somewhat in the emo like realm, I guess you want to say. Like, I think they deserve their own realm. I think y'all deserve your own realm, you know what I'm saying, bro? I don't know. It's just like, it's more of a cool vibe. Like, all black, mascara, like, studs in your arms and, the belt. But I love that belt like that. That little star belt, not star belt, but like, it's like a square belt, but it's like it's so tough. Like, I always wanted that belt, bro. I always wanted that belt. Should I start making a P.O. box or something, bro, to see if y'all would give me something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll wear it, you know what I'm saying, for the vids and stuff like that too, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get into fashion, definitely do. But I'm definitely probably gonna like dress up like an emo and take some pictures, like some actual cool pictures though. Like,
He like started Falling in Reverse. Like he just got out of prison and shit. That shit was crazy. That was before I even knew the legacy that like Ronnie had with like ETF and shit. I found out about him because of like the Bryan interviews, and I was like, what the fuck?
with Sirens and all those fucking bands that remind me of the time that I was kissless and only slightly more depressed than I am now. Bryan Starrs was a black sheep in the best way possible. I mean, look at him. The curly blonde locks, no tattoos,
He don't
and
even
that
look like he
crusty,
would be
unwashed
emo.
blue Aeropostale shirt. Bryan embraced the fact that he was different. He asked ridiculous questions to the band members, and I think the goal was to let the band members come out of their shell. When band members were doing 3 interviews a day, answering the same questions, they started to develop ways to answer those questions and just were like robots in the interview. Most of these interviews were so fucking dry. Like, how's the tour? How are the shows been? Nice that Bryan was giving band members the opportunity to let loose and catch them off guard with weird questions and show their personalities to their fans. But it's weird because Bryan somehow had the clarity to know that in a saturated market of band interviews that you had to break the mold a little bit. But for some reason, the only thing he could think of doing different was essentially sexually harassing the people he...
It's interesting. I think like back then, especially though, like if you look at YouTubers like Shane Dawson and like Destry Smith, a lot of them, they're
as a content creator,
what is he talking about? Honestly, bro, if I do an interview, best believe I'm saying something funny.
their content
Where do the emos be? No funny stuff though. Like, I low key got to interview a couple.
was based around sexual jokes
I
and
mess with
humor
him, bro. I
and
ain't
shit.
gonna lie.
So he probably, in a way, got like the same kind of treatment where it was being praised. But now looking back on it, it's like, fuck that. Yeah, it was like praised almost. It was rewarded. So why would you stop doing it in a sense?
What is it like to be arguably the most beautiful lead singer in the metalcore genre?
Lead
It wasn't even
singer?
a porn star name. It was more than that. It was more so like that shit where he's like, what is it? Like he would say this to females too. And no one knew he was like gay at the time. Even if he, if they knew that, it
Wait,
probably would
he
still be
is
weird.
gay?
He would be like, what does it feel like to be the hottest girl on Warped Tour or whatever? The most sexiest girl. Sometimes it was just like kind of off. It was just weird.
Bryan's most iconic question is, if you were a porn star, what would your porn star name be and what would your catchphrase be? Which is a funny, interesting question, I suppose, and a question that they probably wouldn't hear from.
That's a good question. Chat, what would y'all name be if you was on a baddie hub? Like, what would your name be? Mine's gonna be Daddy Sintreal. Simple, man. Hey, it fits perfectly, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
From any other interviewer, but a lot of his joke questions were kind of just like homoerotic and hypersexual. I guess the idea was to loosen the band members up so they could be themselves and be goofy, and it's a great idea, but I can think of tons of ways to ask weird questions without being fucking gay about
I
it.
think the reason why he was super like sexual and gay about it was due to the fact of that just being the most rewarded thing when it came to the interviews. When people talked about it and everything, he was like, fuck, like this is what people want more of. This is what is like making me seem different than the other interviewers. Let's take it to 100. And by doing that, it got really fucking wild. Did he ever make you uncomfortable? The only thing that made me uncomfortable for the most part, for me, I'll speak about, he like, yeah, I've brought it up before, but he like literally tried to wrestle while he was really drunk. And he would like purr on my neck. And he went, and I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Nah, Chief, it gets to a point, baby. No shade. Why would you let him do that? You know what I'm saying? At this point, you might as well just call him a vampire. He was probably trying to get in them draws to him. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Are you friends with him still, bro? Does he still do this type of stuff? That's my question.
That was the weirdest thing he's ever.
Dude, I always seen this combo too before, bro. This combo with the white black tee with the little scarf thing, that's like iconic, bro. But I never wore it. I really want to get into fashion, like wear a whole bunch of different things that I thought I would never wear, and like, yeah.
Done to me 18 or so. I was like, that's fucked up. That's not like cool. That's weird. It was weird. And I was like, I don't want to wrestle you, dude. I'm a fucking adult. Like, what the fuck? Like, I wasn't an adult. I was a kid. I was like 18, but I was like, I'm too cool for that. Like, what the fuck, dude? The only other thing he did that was like obviously just super out of pocket was giving me drinks. And like he did this with other people as well, but he gave me drinks. I'll speak about when I was 17 or so, and he would like give me drinks he would pour drinks and hand them to me, and I'd be like, I'm good. And he'd pour them and hand them to me. And he also didn't like let people know that I lived with him. Like, no, his parents didn't know I lived with him. The only people that knew that I lived with him was my family. His family didn't know. Where'd I sleep? I slept on the couch that we would film videos on. And for the most part, it was fun. And like, he wasn't like, I don't know, he wasn't that weird. But now looking at it as an adult, it's just like weird.
Interviews with Andy Biersack from Black Veil Brides, Danny and Ben from Asking Alexandria. I even checked out some old interviews of bands that I started liking after the Bryan Stars era, like Volumes, for example, and that interview was pretty funny too. But it is also worth mentioning that in all of the interviews, and I mean all of them, there were at least a few moments in them where the band members would be verbally and physically uncomfortable. On top of that, the band members would occasionally just bully the fuck out of Bryan.
Did he not have friends to know that you lived with him? Probably the friend that knew the most, maybe. I don't remember if he knew. I don't think he really did. I think he really
should be on Twitch right now.
He said like I lived in the same apartment and stuff. There was this one kid that actually used to come to his apartment. I don't remember how he knew him. I think he used to work at a YMCA like thing. Bryan did, and this kid like met him through that, and he was just being nice to him. I'm pretty sure like it was just him being nice. And he would like hang out, and he was like super into the emo shit. But there was like a friend that would edit videos and help him film, and we would sometimes go to his house and stuff. But I don't think he knew. But my family didn't think of it in a weird way. You know, it wasn't really something we thought of, and I was going through so much that.
Have you noticed yourself trying to stop?
Bro, I don't want to hear it. Get on my face. When am I dead? It gets to a point, though. You know
they just like thought this guy was gonna help.
I don't
me
know
out.
who this guy is, so I can't
like what kind of questions he was asking, because it's a precursor of the future of Bryan Stars, which is just very hypersexual content. So Bryan Stars' audience, as well as the audience of these emos, screamo, post-hardcore, whatever the fuck bands, consisted of underage girls that were like 12 to 15. Whoa. So the girls watching these videos, they were fine with it. They didn't see anything wrong with it, and I didn't either. I was around that age as well when I watched his videos. But after hundreds of interviews, it was only a matter of time before somebody snapped. Christopher Drew is the singer for the band Never Shout Never, and it was a fantastic interview. It was one of his best performing interviews, even to—
I don't know who any of these people are, bro. This is crazy. I don't understand. Like, bro, I probably passed somebody that was super big, and I didn't even know they was super big. It's so many pop stars and rock stars and YouTuber content creators that's like so big in this world, bro. And I don't know none of them. I don't. I really live under a rock, bro. I don't even know what I was doing, bro. I was playing Fortnite, probably. Fortnite, I don't play that game no more. You know, just trying to figure out my life for real. Doing TikTok. I don't know. That's crazy though.
to this day. So much that the New York Times wanted to cover one of his interviews. And what better band to cover than Never Shout Never? Chris and Bryan seemed to have great chemistry. The previous interview did really well, and people wanted another. It was perfect. Right?
Hey, what's up, you guys? We're hanging out here with Never Shout Never.
I think I heard about
And
you
like,
starting
and like for me as a kid, the first interview with Never Shout Never was a huge part as to why I became so like, when I was young, I was like, Christopher Drew, I have to wear the black marks on my face and the furry hat and shit. Like, you can tell in that interview, he's got the same getup that I was trying to do when I was 15 or so. So, Bryan was like also a big reason of that. So like, I was just as much of a fan and all that shit. But this is the second interview, and this shit was rough. And I think for the most part, Bryan was probably mistreated in this interview. I don't think it was cool still, as much as I still like Never Shout Never and all that. I do think that
That's another thing, bro, when it comes to like being famous or whatever. People really feel like since you have a big following and you got a lot of money, people really treat you differently. Like, I understand his questions are like outrageous, but I'm the type of person that will laugh it off, somewhat answer the question, and just move around with it. Or like, I tell you how it's seriously. Like, I'm not the type of person to be rude. Like, I feel like people be getting such a big head, and I don't like that. I really don't. So say if I ended up getting big one day, you know what I'm saying? And they don't know me, and I walk up to them, and they being rude. I'm like, bro, that's so weird. That's so lame. Like, maybe I want to get to know you, like, as a cool person, or just, like, you know, pick your brain a little bit. But, like, you can tell this one is not interested at all. This one is like, what is he saying? And this one, like, I don't want to be here.
that Bryan was mistreated in this.
some rumors about us that we broke up. When are we gonna start talking about music? Because that's what we're all about. Well, I'd like to start now.
Oh.
Nope.
We're not about any bullshit. We're just about real deal stuff.
Are you mad at me because of the Rest in Peace Never Shout Never video?
You are trying to make a mockery of all the bands that you're interviewing. It's these questions.
Was I anti-Chris when Bryan made him?
Okay, it gets to a point. It does get to a point. Like, I see why the band is acting that type of way or whatever, but this guy's mad disrespectful. Like, you could have said respectfully, I don't want to answer none of these questions. I want to only talk about band type of questions or whatever. But Bryan Stars being who he is, bro, I'm pretty sure I'm picking it up. He's just a troll. Like, he's one of the biggest, probably one of the biggest trolls back then. When was this? 2017 or 18? When was this video? I don't think he's trying to downshame all the bands though. Like, it's really just giving them more popularity. It's not like they ruining like, if it was something negative or something, okay, it's different. But like, he's just joking around, bro. Like, bro,
Cry? I don't remember,
Get your
honestly. I
pennies
mean,
out
I
the
definitely
bunch.
was like bummed. I definitely was bummed and like thought it was rude, and I still think it's rude, and
it
I still
is.
don't think it was
And
okay.
I'm
I
we had
do
to do this for the
understand
first
like
time.
where he was coming from to an extent. I just think he didn't come off
The right way.
well spoken with it or anything. It just came off harsh and bitter. And I think maybe he should have like been like, hey, can we pause the video and like have a talk real quick about this or something? But instead it was just like kind of while the video was, he almost wanted people to see it during the time. And a lot of people are like, oh, Chris was right about this. I don't think he was necessarily
I bet you
right,
got so much
but I
hate
also
comments,
don't
bro.
think Bryan really felt out the situation correctly either.
We don't really want to talk about this type of things. These guys don't appreciate questions that are bullshit because these guys are real musicians. I don't know if you know that.
I've asked him 2 questions and he hasn't given me an answer.
Well, because you've been weird about it, man. Realness isn't all.
After this interview, we like all started hanging out during Warped Tour. Actually, like Deadass did hang out
Warped
with
Tour.
them quite a lot, and they were like very nice and stuff.
That's
It was just, I don't know why this ever existed, to be honest.
It's kind of frustrating to see how people view this video in modern times. People say things like, oh, Chris saw through Bryan and we should have seen the signs ahead of time. Fuck that, okay? I'm gonna be plenty critical of Bryan in this video, but this is not the time. Bryan drove...
And I really appreciate this person's perspective on it, because this is completely how I see it as well. There's plenty of situations to be critical about Bryan. The dude has done a lot of fucked up shit, but this was just not, this was like fucked up. Like, sure, Bryan could have asked more like, you know, chill questions and stuff, but this was just not like
It wasn't it.
his
Torrin.
fault.
Oh
This
my
was just
God.
like, this was too harsh. It's okay to like kind of be like, hey, I'm not vibing
Definitely.
with these questions. Can we do a little more of this or whatever? But to like kind of put him in this situation that's just very uncomfortable was just never cool.
was at this point his most important interview yet, and Chris was a total fucking asshole to him, as well
Weird.
as the other members of the band
They
too.
definitely
Never
was.
Shout Never knew what they were getting into. Everyone in the scene knew what to expect from a Bryan Stars interview, and Chris is no exception. Chris later went to Twitter and blamed being on acid during the interview.
Are you serious? Let's keep it a buck, bro. Let's keep it a buck. You,
It was
why would you do that, bro? Like, I'm so sorry for the way I've been treating you. Such a liar, bro. Like, it came out wrong. You're such a liar, bro. You got all them hate comments or whatever, and that's what happened, bro. Oh, stop the cap, bro. Like, you, bro, I can tell off his energy he was just trying to be calm but disrespectful at the same time. And the rest of them, bro, they was just playing out disrespectful. He throwing his paper, like, that's weird. Like,
was why he was such a dick, which, to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if he was on acid because he was acting a little bit weird. Why the fuck would you take acid before an
I don't
interview?
care, bro.
I mean, I think with the taking acid before an interview, I don't think it was necessarily his goal to take acid before an interview. I think he was probably just taking acid in general and was just not, growing up and stuff. And I think he just was in a space where it was just like, I don't want to be seen as this like cutesy, lovey guy and all that stuff a little bit. I want to be just seen for my art.
people that do
And
stuff,
I
bro,
think
it's,
because of that, it became a little bitter.
Not only did Bryan drive 7 hours to do, but was being covered by a huge media company and was insanely important to Bryan. Bryan would have just interviewed like Andy Biersack again or something. That would have been a
It was a
bro, this is crazy, bro. I ain't never seen this type of fit before. I thought Jake and Johnny Cox was like really emo, but this just give off super emo, bro. He turned Super Saiyan. He turned into Gogeta.
originally going to, I'm pretty sure.
Does he got tattoos right here? And right here? Yeah, he might be off of Tokyo Ghoul or something, or Tokyo Revenger or something, bro.
Interview Black Veil Brides, but they were like not touring during that time or something. So that's why he didn't, and that's why his second option, he said, was Never Shout Never.
fantastic interview. I mean, Andy is a sweet guy. Fuck, Andy Biersack was even nice to Onision. The interview
was
was
a
a
pretty
shit
boy.
show, but the internet had Bryan's back, and so did a
Simple.
few members from the bands he interviewed, like Andy Biersack from Black Veil Brides, Chris Franzak from Attila, Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with
All of this was so iconic. You had to have been there. It was so iconic.
Said. Chris eventually apologized.
I wasn't there. That's the sad part about it, bro.
He blamed it on acid, which not only doesn't excuse you from being a dick, but it makes you a careless dick. At the end of the interview, you can see Bryan like visibly upset. He's crying. He's fucking
I
humiliated.
don't blame him.
Hey, man, it's alright, man. I know you just trying to do it for the people, bro. Like, it gets to a point, like, obviously, he's doing it for the people. They really like it. It's drama. Everybody loves drama, bro. Like,
And
was
I don't
rough.
care. And this is when Bryan Stars started to become like a celebrity in the scene, hardcore and emo community. In the behind the scenes footage for Bryan Stars interviews moving forward, he was constantly being approached by fans. People were so excited to see him.
my
and he-
man's had all the women, man. He could have gone crazy, man. I ain't doing that, though. Shoot, I need me a real one, like a real loyal one, like not no fan geek or whatever, I guess you want to say. I really want a Latina or something, like a Latina or Dominican, you know what I'm saying? Some type of race that's, I don't know, Jamaican, you know. I like them all, you know what I'm saying?
he was even getting chants from the crowds.
Crazy. I think for me as like an
pretty cool.
outsider and stuff, the reason why I connected with Bryan so much, he wasn't trying to be anyone else, but eventually he did try to be someone else. And I can understand why he felt the need to
serious?
become someone else, but I can say from my perspective and everyone else, we never wanted him to be trying to be someone else. I always wanted him to be Bryan, like how he was when I was a fan of him and all that stuff.
Dang, man. He said it was a
So
fan.
in late 2012, Bryan Stars was
Dang.
on top. He was doing interviews, and later he would announce his Bryan Stars tour. The Bryan Stars tour featured some bands across the country, and
This is the tour I went on, or I didn't go on. I met him
Hey, wait, is that him right there?
originally at, because I was a fan of him and Catching Your Clouds and Late Night Reading.
people the opportunity to meet Bryan for the first time. This was a really, really good idea.
I think I was like 15 or so.
I can't stress that enough, because the thing is that nobody could really meet Bryan at this point unless they were in his area going to a show that he happened to be interviewing for. So this gave people across the country the opportunity to meet their favorite YouTuber. So the tour itself isn't entirely important to the story of Bryan Stars, except for the fact that a certain person comes into frame. Arguably the most important person in the story aside from Bryan. Bryan would hire a young man named Johnnie Guilbert to run the merch stand.
Oh my God, Johnnie Guilbert. Okay, what did he mention your name in the, you know what I'm saying? He mentioned your name, bro. Like, bro, he looked totally different now. Like, I don't know. Did his nose figures just change a little bit or something? Or, man. Bro, I want to cry. We all just getting older, dude. It just gets to a point, bro. Like, this is crazy, bro. Chat, this is crazy. Man. He looked like Justin Bieber a little bit. Just a little bit.
And for his tour. Johnnie was only 15 years old at this time. Johnnie was and is a good-looking guy. He's got the cute look with the squirrel hat and the face paint, and Bryan Star's community, like I said earlier, was young teenage.
Wait, that's crazy. Why would he? How did he meet him? That's my question.
Teenage girls.
As you can see, who
love emo boys.
As you see in this clip of me, I was quite the fan of Christopher Drew, because I'm literally wearing the same exact sweater as Christopher Drew and doing the marks in the fucking same fucking bear hat. So I was quite the Christopher Drew fan and friends with Bryan at the time. It was very strange. Mentioned, but I eventually do film the Never Shout Never interview number 3 with Bryan and Chris. And so like little, I would say 18-year-old me is like holding the camera while they're talking it out. And I'm like, oh, this is really fucking weird.
The community fell in love with Johnnie. I mean, he was and still is a really sweet guy. And so Bryan would slowly start to integrate Johnnie into the content. Bryan would start to distance himself from doing interviews to doing more normie content like challenges and skits and stuff. Down the line,
and I think like he told me in the past, like he just was so burnt out on the interviews, which is understandable. I mean, he could be like that. But I honestly, and I started talking to him in the future and stuff, and it became like he wanted to be the people that was getting interviewed more so than being the guy that's interviewing.
That's fine.
Which is understandable. I remember when we first met, I was like filming some of Mice and Men interviews and stuff with him, and Asking Alexandria and Sleeping with Sirens interviews. I was like helping him film them, and I was so happy doing that. And then I was the guy that was doing the vlogs, and then he was the guy doing that. But he wanted to be the guy getting kind of interviewed and stuff. Fair to like want that, but unfortunately I think that kind of was his downfall as well.
And would realize that there were more emo teenagers on YouTube that he could capitalize on. And so now we enter the beginning of the end of Bryan.
That you helped him film? Yeah, no, that's why I got a lot of those photos from back in the day with a lot of those band members and stuff. I filmed not a lot of them, but I filmed quite a few. When I started becoming his friend and stuff, I really...
do he still got him up?
Like, there was like a whole year, a year of like when he's creating content, you're filming quite a lot. And even back then, as like a 16 or 17-year-old, because I knew Bryan and shit, people were coming up to me back then, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was super new to that.
That's pretty tough.
But since Bryan was so popular during that time, people were like coming up to me, and I was like child and shit.
My Digital Escape is a YouTube channel created by Bryan Star.
It was created by me and Bryan. People always like, it was created. The idea came from Bryan.
Wait, created by. Yeah, man, they ain't give you no credit, man. That's tough.
Bryan saying that we should make a channel like O2L, which is our second life, but make it emo. Understandable. Pretty good idea.
Pretty cool.
But I lived with Bryan in Nebraska, so I made the trailer, which was the intro, and it had like a Shane Dawson theme song, a Super Love. Found Alex somehow, and then he found some members. I found like Alex and Alex Ramos, Jordan Sweeto, because Jordan and I collabed in the past. And then Bryan found Kyle and who else was in the channel originally? It was Austin Jones. And Bryan also added Austin Jones. I didn't know who Austin Jones was at the time.
Johnnie, obviously.
Me.
As well as Alex Dorami.
Okay, I added Alex.
Is that a girl?
Oh, it was Austin Jones. And Bryan also added Austin Jones. I didn't know who Austin Jones was at the time.
Johnnie, obviously.
Me.
As well as Alex Dorami.
Alex Durrami? Alex Durrami. Alex Durrami. Why is she private? Bro, she's private on all social medias. She do Twitch as well. Interesting. Alex Durrami. Bro, this thing taking too long. I will see this later.
Me.
Okay, I added Alex.
Deram. I don't fucking
Yeah, it's
know.
fine.
Jordan Sweeto,
I added Jordan.
Kyle David Hall,
Kyle was
as well
Bryan.
as Alex Ramos.
Alex Ramos was me. Alex Ramos, that's the one I forgot. Alex Ramos was me.
But the last original member, I can't find much trace of on the channel. This is somebody that I know you know. Another crucial player.
Oh
in the
yeah, and
downfall of
Austin Jones was Bryan.
Bryan Stars. None other than convicted sex offender Austin.
Convicted sex offender.
Whoa.
Oh shit, I muted it.
Who is
Sorry.
that?
Digital Escape was a channel of 7 members.
Nah. Who is this? What happened?
Austin Jones was Bryan.
Bryan Stars. None other than convicted sex offender Austin.
Convicted sex offender. Oh shit, I muted it. Sorry.
My Digital Escape was a channel of 7 members, each responsible for posting.
Is that Johnny? He's very skinny and different in this one. This is crazy, bro. It's really like, bro, I don't know. It's like when you look at an old video, you like, dang, man, that used to really be me, bro. Like, he was a YouTuber back then, bro. And now he up. I'm really proud of him, bro. It's crazy.
One
This is
video.
the first time I met Kyle.
Alex Ramos didn't stay for long. He wasn't good with uploading.
So Alex Ramos, the reason why
tough.
he didn't stay in the channel, he posted about 3 videos.
He posted 3 videos, couldn't be consistent. I'm already knowing. It still happened to this day.
The reason why he didn't stay in the channel is because Bryan eventually did kick him out, and it was just due
What?
to the uploads. He just didn't
Of course.
upload. He was, kind of slacking with all of it and all that stuff, and therefore, like, it was like, okay, you got to leave. But Alex Ramos took it well and stuff and was chill about it.
And I don't know if he just quit or if he got the boot, but he was eventually replaced by Shannon Taylor. And Jaden Will
And Shannon was added, yeah. And
Wow.
then Shannon and then Luke.
was replaced Austin Jones early on in the channel, or maybe it was the other way around. I really don't know. It's hard to figure out this information with all the
This video was hard as F to find.
deleted
info
videos
for.
and lack of archives. Also, I had no clue until I did
Fair.
research for this video, but apparently Jaden is trans. And currently he's 2 years post-op and goes by Luke now, so congrats, buddy. Looking good.
What?
So anyways, MDE's content was pretty mediocre. It certainly wasn't my cup of tea. I thought it was really fucking cringe. I was 17 at the time.
It was dog shit. Could have been good. There was potential for it to be good, and there was good moments. But yeah, I mean, obviously, it was just the bad side got too much of it. Got lost in the sauce. Much Austin Jones got called out originally for twerking videos. It was not known that he was asking minors for butthole
Whoa.
videos.
What?
Which is disgusting.
What the? What? Okay. You was asking minors for butthole pics. That's the 2 most weirdest thing you ever, bro. Who? Austin? Who? I'm gonna remember this name forever now, bro. Stay away from me. Stay away from me.
Not known that he was asking minors
Oh
for
no,
butthole videos.
You gotta
which
go.
is disgusting.
Chief.
But it was not known that. It was just known that he was asking for twerking videos of minors. So that's already fucking weird, but it's not
That's
illegal, I don't
weird.
think. I don't
That's
know.
weird.
It's weird, though. I was originally brought up a lot of times during Warped Tour because Austin was supposed to be on Warped Tour when we all were. People kind of like wrote it off because they were like, oh, well, it's not, porn or whatever. It's not nudity. It's just,
So when did
it's
you
weird,
meet
but it's not, that. So they kind of wrote it
Jake?
off, and Austin made an apology. But during when Austin made an apology, and he was already managed by Bryan's management called Talent Shop, which managed all the members of MDE except Luke at the time, made the apology, and then we eventually were like, we can't be in a channel with Austin, dude. Like, this is like weird. Like, even like me as a kid, I was probably 17 or 18. I was like, this is weird, bro. Like, I don't want to be. This is sexual enough. Like, this is
I'm
weird.
already knowing, bro.
And
That's weird.
Austin left the channel, and then we added Luke in the channel, who I was a fan of since I was a kid.
His hair out, straightened it, and he even
Luke.
traded.
Oh,
with his,
dude,
like,
Jordan's in the background. This was like a Hot Topic interview during Warped Tour. And this was when Bryan started doing his hair.
That looked like him now, like almost a little bit right now. That's tough.
And I really did try to help him sometimes. I also felt really uncomfortable about it But I would try. And Alex, I remember even like tried to help. We would like try to straighten his hair and cut it the way I cut my hair and stuff. But I was like, just felt really weird. And like his hair is naturally curly. You can't really do much, even if you're getting like treatment for it and stuff. It just you can't. It's just not. I don't know. It just didn't feel like him, to be honest. It was just off. Yeah.
Did you even brush your
don't
hair
look
before
like
taking
it.
this picture? Like, what happened? Like, for fuck's sakes, my emo hair when I was 14 looks better than this. But for real, Bryan's look was so iconic. One of the biggest reasons he was so iconic.
Yo, I get that you did the interview. You're basically like giving info. But like, why did you gotta say that though? Like that's really like. My question is, what is he trying to do for his career in a way? Like, is he just a person that just spread info or something? Like, that's a lot of work. Great job, you know what I'm saying? But can you keep it up? Are you still irrelevant? Who is this guy? I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? But he seemed like a cool, very chill guy. You know what I'm saying? I obviously know he's emo. What does that star mean, chat? Like, what does that mean? I thought it was like a demon sign or something like that.
Iconic was because he stuck out like a sore thumb. Being emo was all about being different, but ironically, the nerdy kid wearing an Aeropostale shirt was what was different in that community. He was kind of put into a box where he felt like he had to wear the Aeropostale shirts. He had to keep his hair short.
Feel that way?
So I understand him wanting to break free of that mold, but it seemed like it was a business move, and you'll learn why. I think
Definitely was. At least at like some point when he started doing his music, it definitely became a business move.
that as we watch Bryan
He got his facts.
plummet.
Yo,
Because
cover
something
up.
happened in between the inception.
This is a very interesting interview. Not interview, but what would you call this, chat? Bro, what did I want to?
Of my digital escape in the fall, and it may be potentially the worst thing Bryan has ever done. I'm sure you know the story, but I'm just gonna go over it real fucking quick, but from the perspective of Bryan Stars. Essentially, Austin Jones was a YouTube-based pop star. Very talented, very cool, very swag. I don't like it. Because Austin was exposed for attempting to solicit explicit pictures from underage girls around 14 to 15 years old. Austin would also give them twerking tutorials.
Hey cutie, so this is like the first basic.
Okay, bro. Please don't show me that you finna twerk, bro. This is gonna be very embarrassing for me and you, bro. That's crazy.
Shit's so weird.
Like, it's currently 2024 right now, and I react to it, and his name is still relevant to this day. Like y'all really want me to react to this, and now he just relevant in 2024 too, still to the day. I don't know, bro. Whoa!
And also, I'll say this: Austin Jones had access to My Digital Escape's Twitter at the time because he was a member, and we were on Warped Tour, and I was with Kyle and everyone because they like visited, and Austin took My Digital Escape's Twitter when we weren't like wanting to be in a channel with him anymore, and he tweeted Austin Jones should kill himself, and then deleted it so everyone that had notifications, which it was very popular at the time, saw it. And they thought that we tweeted Austin Jones should kill himself genuinely, but it was actually him. Tracked it, and it was his house that it was tweeted from. So that just shows you how fucking weird and mentally just like crazy Austin Jones is that he literally tried to frame us for saying that he should kill himself, but none of us did that. And for some reason, Bryan and all of our management told us not to tweet about it and call him out, which I think we should have, honestly. But we just never said anything, and we just kind of took heat for that.
Instead of clapping them.
That's messed up. And you still irrelevant. The internet probably didn't even know that still to this day until you just revealed it right now. Austin Jones, that's your name? Weird. I don't like that guy.
How about you just spread your cheeks for 10 seconds then? Would that be easier? Your wedgie has to be good enough so that when you spread your cheeks, it shows the edges of your butthole. OMG, that would be so funny. I know you're trying your hardest, and I don't want to have to find someone else.
What?
But as soon as you spread them, OMG, we'll both laugh. I'm trying to help you so much. I have to see your butthole to know for sure that you care 100%. I bet you had no idea that when you met me just one day later, you get to show me your butthole. How special do you feel? Okay, go make it clap super loud and talk about your age the whole time. Got it? Clap it.
Yeah, he literally like talk about your age.
Nah. You would have got canceled quick as day on TikTok. If this was released on TikTok, you would have been got canceled. And like so quick, bro. Like you can't say this stuff now, bro. You can't say this stuff at all. This is so weird. This is so weird, bro.
Age the whole time. Oh my god. So he was literally getting off on the fact that they would say that they're underage. Austin Jones, wonder what he's doing now. He's in jail.
It was just like, oh,
Oh,
my
what?
sister's
Really?
dead, and I don't know my dad, and my house caught on fire,
Is he in jail still to this day?
and I cut myself.
And how many cases he got? That's crazy, bro.
My life is tragic, and that's why I'm sexting minors.
And then the fact about that too, I'm pretty sure you were famous. Why didn't you go get you some real play? I got some real, bro. You're weird. It's so many people in this world. It's billions of people in this world, and you decide to go for it. Minor, you're weird. That's sad. And then you texting them.
And fucking twerking on camera. Fuck you, Austin. That's not even a good reason to be emo. It just sounds like an anime origin story.
Okay.
Austin was set to go on the band's Warped Tour with Bryan, Johnny, Jordan, Austin, and D Fizzy, who was also very crucial to the story.
Johnny
the
went on
Warped
tour?
by the way, is like a staple experience of any emo or hardcore kid. It's like a coming of age thing.
Me and Alex did hear about some of this shit. I don't remember exactly. I think Alex had a friend, and that friend brought up Austin Jones being creepy towards them. So Alex brought that up to Damon. Then Damon like already had some stuff that was brought up to him in the past about Austin. And so it was all brought up to Damon. He was the more, he was the adult in the situation. We were still pretty young. And I kind of, was a part of like, we all like brought it up. And then we eventually brought it up to Bryan while he was on his computer fucking vaping and doing stocks and shit. And he just kind of dismissed it and like didn't really care or take it seriously. Initially, me and like Alex and Damon all brought it up to him. I literally remember this day for some reason, even though I can't remember a lot of things from my life, but that like sticks out. But yeah, it was just kind of dismissed. We didn't know the full extent of everything, but we already were uncomfortable with the idea of just.
I really feel bad for Johnny and his crew that he was once with. What happened to them as well?
Just asking for videos of underage people shaking their ass. I was like,
so
that's enough
weird.
for it to be not okay. When it did come down to it, Damon was a huge, like he was the
Speaking
biggest
of
part
that, bro, y'all ever heard of what's his name? This is currently kind of happening right now. Not super dramatic like this. Not dramatic. This is definitely a problem, serious problem. Yeah, you need to be contained. But it's this girl named Yanni, and I think it's the name Troy. Yanni's 21, and Troy is 17. They ended up having a kid. First of all, if the roles was reversed, he would have been in jail. Since she's a girl and he's 17 as a boy and he got that's weird. That's so weird, bro. Like I swear to God, bro, it's getting to a point. This world is so corrupt. It been corrupt. If the guy was 21 and she was 17 and she ended up having a kid, it would be a big problem and he would have went to jail. The roles are reversed at this point. Because she's 21 and he's 17. He's not in jail. And he still got her pregnant. And she still have the baby. This world is just so unfair. I feel like sometimes girls, no offense, y'all be having it too good, bro. Y'all be having it too good, bro. The rules in this world is so, I don't know, bro. Like, it's unfair. It's really unfair. Like, I get it. You never, don't put your hands on a woman. Okay, that's understandable. If they touch you, I'm pushing you away. Simple as that, bro. But then you can still get in trouble for that. What can you do? It's a lot of things in this world that's so wrong, bro. But the internet and people think it's right. Like, if you want to be honest, girls really run this world, and trans run this world, gays run this world. That's really it, bro. And maybe emos, but I ain't never seen no emo stuff like that for real. Like, I feel like those the top three that actually rule this world right now, bro. You can't say that as a straight person. You cannot say something. A straight person or a man in general, you can't say nothing out of context or rude to a person and state your own opinion nowadays, bro. It just hits the internet. Like, what would life be without the internet? Like, we wouldn't have all this, backing each other up, you know, stuff like that. I don't know, bro.
Of why this actually,
It's weird.
you know, got fucking busted and everything. And like, he did everything correct and he got shitted on. He did everything correct, like, for sure. And like, his morals and everything, like, were fantastic. And because of that, Austin actually, you know, extremely got, you know, fucking caught. Was I close to Austin Jones? Believe it or not, I only talked to Austin Jones probably twice in my life out of him being in that channel. And the only reason why he ever talked to me was to ask me to promote his fucking stupid Drown cover.
Essentially, Damon didn't want to go on tour with him. There was tons of underage girls at Warped Tour, and he didn't want to be in a bus with a pedophile. He called all of it out, and he got kicked off of Warped Tour and was called a bully, and people were saying that he was slandering Austin Jones.
True.
For calling out Austin for asking for butthole pictures of minors and asking them for twerking videos. It's
True.
It's fucking insane.
So
but at the end of the day, from what I remember, neither Austin or Damon ended
Editor's note, from what I can tell from Damien, was
up on the tour. Now, what does this have to do with Bryan?
Damon eventually did get to stay on the tour, but Austin did not stay on the tour. There was one show where Kevin Lyman was talking to Austin Jones in person, and we saw them though, and that's the first time and the only time I've ever seen Austin Jones in person. And he had glasses on, and they glared at me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And we had a lot of meetings about Austin Jones during that tour. Like, whoa, should he be on tour? Should he not? Are we being too dramatic? And we even had conversations with Kevin. It was a mess. And I was like fucking 18 at the time. It was really weird. But Damon did eventually get to go on the tour. He did make it on the tour.
That Bryan was in Austin Jones's ear giving him advice on how to get out of this. Bryan was Austin Jones's manager. And when Damon found out about the allegations, he brought him up to Bryan, and Bryan very quickly changed the subject, which I don't know how the fuck you pivot out of a conversation like that, but good job, Bryan. He didn't care if minors were getting groomed or even assaulted. He just wanted the commission he'd get from Austin Jones and the money he'd make from Warped Tour. But yeah, maybe you didn't know that.
That's completely true.
That's
a big
so
reason why he
weird.
wanted to still get Austin on the tour, on the Warped Tour, was because he had 20% of whatever me and Jordan Sweeto made on it, plus, you know, any income that Bryan made, because we were Warped YouTubers, plus he would have had 20% of whatever Austin
What is a Warped YouTuber?
Jones made on Warped Tour, which is a lot of money eventually, you know, because let's say you sell 100,000 in that tour, Bryan gets 20% of that. That's like 20K or so. You know what I mean? It's something crazy.
Rise and fall would actually include the rise and fall of one of the most prominent sexual predators in YouTube history. I mean, this guy is arguably worse than EDP, and Bryan was in his ear the whole
Dang. Worse than EDP? I can see that. 100%. I could definitely see that, bro.
time, jeopardizing the safety of his own fans for money. But it keeps getting crazier. Apparently, an associate of Bryan's management company named Dan was with Austin Jones.
This is how I know this guy knows his shit, because Dan, I'm not going to say his last name. I'll be nice enough, you know. But Dan was, it was Bryan and Dan. They were the managers of Talent Shop.
Was fucking arrested in an airport right before he was sentenced to a minimum of 10 years in prison. Bryan Stars tried to cover the tracks of a felon and registered sex offender, but Bryan wasn't just willing to overlook the abuse of his fans. He even did it to his own friends.
What?
All of the members of the aforementioned My Digital Escape.
So this used to be his clique. What happened to him? This is crazy. That is crazy.
But joined forces, all in the same room for a week.
Barbizon is modeling.
Was they trying to play like a board game or something, bro? That's crazy. I never heard of none of these people before.
Week of content called 7 for 7 week. According to one of the members, Shannon, Bryan rolled with an iron fist. No one was allowed to come up with ideas for the content. We're gonna do the fucking leaf blower challenge. Also,
that's not that is literally not the worst. The leaf blower challenge is fine. It was more so when we started playing fucking board games and shit, and just talking about cocks when we were fucking underage and had no experience with cocks. It was fucking weird.
According to Shannon, Bryan told all the members one day that they had to film a video about depression. Had to film a video. Shannon referenced this as selling suicide, which
Yeah, and Brian's known for selling suicide
That's
because I
so
remember.
weird, bro. That is weird. Y'all are weird, bro. Bryan, you're weird. I'm kind of glad that you fell off. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt at first. I don't know none of your stories, bro. Like hearing this interview right here, bro. Like, I don't even know you. And off of this, basically, you normally you'd be like, oh, it's two sides of the story, but this don't look. This look like two sides of the story in just one video. Like, baby, no shade. You sick. You nasty, and you only care about the money. I could never, bro. That's crazy, bro.
My first video that
weird.
actually got popular, like, was unintentional, but it was about me, like, struggling, and I was like a young kid, and I lived with Bryan at the time, but
during that time?
I was talking about how I was suicidal and I was struggling with it, and my dad passed away, and that was a big reason as to why I was, you know, fucking struggling, and I was lost, and I felt hopeless. And then Bryan made this shirt called Self-Love, and self-harm crossed out, and I was like, bro, this feels really gimmicky. And even as a 17-year-old, I was like, this is fucked up. And then he took that and he sold it, and none of the profit was supposed to go to anyone. But then eventually he changed his mind because of all the backlash, not because of me, but the backlash from other people. And he said, I guess I'll donate 15% or so. I don't know exactly the percentage. I'll donate a percentage of it to self-harm victims or some shit. Somehow, you know what I mean? I don't know if he actually ever donated that. I don't remember. I don't think he actually did, but I'm not going to say 100% he didn't.
Depressed is pretty common in emo culture, obviously, and tons of fans would eat that shit up. But that's also obviously fucked up because a lot of the people in My Digital Scape deal with depression, and they didn't want to talk about it because they had to or for money.
My question is, what makes people like really like be so depressed every single day? Like, I get that shit that, you know, you got emo and stuff like that, but like, I'm really trying to figure out like I could see if you was in a relationship while you're depressed, or if you was lonely, you want a relationship or something, you depressed, or you want to get to a goal. But I'm not gonna lie, one of the main reasons I knew like what emo is really known for is black rock music, depression, and the way they dress, for real. Like, that's what I know so far, and still known to this day. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know they slangs. I don't. Why are they depressed?
They wanted to talk about it when they were in the proper headspace and felt like there was things to say about it.
A lot of fucked up things happened in that channel, like that were like way too overly sexual, and it's
weird.
Not cool.
It's pretty much what MDE's humor was. There was jokes about different male members having a secret gay relationship, and they would clickbait kissing videos.
Hey, yo! Don't tell me that's Johnny right there. Connie is real.
And all this different shit. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like queer baiting is like the biggest atrocity ever.
I might have to watch
it's
that.
Fucking cringe. And so is.
No, that's base. It's not the biggest atrocity, but it is fucking cringe. Absolutely. I agree. That's something as a kid I was just like kind of fed. It was like, oh, this is what gets you popular. Keep on queer baiting. It's funny. It's like, oh, this is what people want. This is how you become a YouTuber.
Constantly making sex jokes with people that are as young as 7 years your junior and barely legal. In fact, while I'm on the subject, some MDE videos featured Kyle and Johnny when they were under 18 reenacting things that I'm personally not comfortable with showing. And if you know my content, it should be very shocking that I'm not willing to show whatever the fuck they were doing. For fuck's sakes, he forced Johnny and Alex to have their first kiss.
Are you serious? Johnny, this is your first kiss. Your first ever kiss from a female. Let me find out y'all became girlfriend and boyfriend after this video. Let me find out. But I still gotta react to a video of Terry Yummy, I think boyfriend or something. I don't know. Something about her boyfriend, that breakup video. Yeah, that. My man's had the dogs out too. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Why they looking at each other, you know what I'm saying? They look like they really kind of like each other, chat. That's messed up. That's weird.
Kiss on camera.
True.
When they were minors, and they weren't even dating yet, and their first...
It's fucking ass.
Whoa, don't tell me you went in for a kiss like that, Jit. Oh my God! Nah.
Us too, and everyone roasted me about it, and then I made out with her for like 5 minutes on You Now eventually, and it was also fucking cringe.
For a
5
fucking
minutes?
YouTube video. So as you can guess, 7 for 7 week ended in disaster. No one wanted to be there. In fact, Shannon says,
7 out of 7 week was the first time that I realized there were huge problems.
Shannon just seemed a lot more clear-minded during this situation than I was, like 1,000%. I was not this clear-minded. I was fucking like, Bryan's
Having a tattoo right here is crazy. I don't even know what that say, but clear-minded, right?
my friend. Bryan is like someone I looked up to, and I've been living him with for years and stuff. And so I was like,
7 out of 7 week, everyone literally was just like, this is not okay. This is weird. These videos aren't the stuff
True.
that we're making on our own time.
Especially like Jordan spoke up a lot about it too. Jordan was very uncomfortable with a lot of these videos.
with when it comes to Bryan. Later down the line of
And they
MD,
still
they
did
would
the
embark on a
videos?
tour, much like the Bryan Stars tour. Only
That sounds like a good video. No, that's a game.
one problem. No one was ready for it. Nobody had a say on whether this tour happened or not, other than Bryan. Bryan
Right.
forced these guys to go
Why?
on tour across the country. What made it worse is that not all of them made music, but they all had to do a performance, which
Yeah.
apparently was
Wait, he made music back then too?
really stressful and difficult to deal with.
Plus, Bryan was taking 20% of every single member's
That's so
income
weird.
and forced to sign a contract
That's like
to
4
Talent
people.
Shop, which is his label, management, whatever the fuck. Otherwise, he was not going to allow him to be on the tour with us. No one wanted to be on the tour. Like, the idea of touring was cool, but I only had my first EP out. I was 18 years old or so, and I didn't even know how to play guitar very well. Eventually, Bryan did actually, I don't remember if he like,
Your touch is turning blue. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Bro, Hollywood is gonna kill me. I think it should. It looks so easy, and I can't lie. I think I like it. Hollywood is gonna kill me. Ooh, 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 ooh. Y'all think I don't listen to the songs, boy? I ain't gonna lie, them songs be hard, dude.
he like tried to hit me apparently at one point when I was
What?
like 18, because I was like, Bryan, you can't be a manager and a fucking member.
Right, that's
you're
weird.
taking 20% of everyone's income, and then you're also trying.
As a manager, you supposed to be professional. That's one. You gotta be professional, and doing that to your chat. Why didn't y'all tell me my nose was ashy? I don't know. I just got dry skin lately, bro. It's weird. Probably I got blackheads or something. But like, you know what I'm saying? As a manager, you gotta be professional. If you like that's weird. Like,
trying to be a member.
and if they your friends, why would you put them under a contract? Like 10% would have been good enough, bro. 10%. But me, I wouldn't even put you on a contract, to be honest with you. Like if you my friend, I'm not gonna put you on a contract. I'm gonna put you on, bro. Like, that's weird. Like, you just money hungry. Like, off the rip, if I was there, bro, like, I understand they really wanted the fame. So that's the benefit of the doubt, I guess. But like, it gets to a point, bro.
Member, and you're getting your own income, and then we had the My Digital Escape merch, and it just, with that income as a member and a manager and stuff, it just got really messy, and everyone was uncomfortable with it. And then Bryan like wanted to hit me at one point and shit.
I would have followed him, bro.
Like, he literally like tried to do it. I don't remember. I remember who saw it, but like, I didn't even remember it happening. But like, yeah, apparently that happened. Everyone lost their shit. I think he could have taken him. Yeah, true.
Speaking of music,
100%.
around this time, very conveniently, Bryan released
Literally like 2 weeks before the tour happened, Bryan released his EP
his own EP.
so he could have
What
it
was
for the
called
tour.
again? Follow Your Dreams. Released
He was
in March
rushing
20
it.
He fucking fired
Weird.
everyone. Bryan
He
then
didn't
He
fire
fired
everyone.
him.
He fired Kyle and Shannon because they were the two that were having the most like dude, stop, dude. You know, they were coming at him, which is understandable, and they were in the right for that.
Video with Johnny and Alex announcing the end of My Digital Escape. Bryan seemed
and huge reason why this video was so awkward is
I've seen her before or something, bro. I don't know. That's one person that really stuck out to me. This one, I don't know. This is Johnny, correct? And that's Bryan, bro. Like, get out the video, bro. Like, you making me so mad, bro. Like,
well, one, it was just shitty. I was sad. I felt like so fucking stressed, and I already had so much anxiety, and I still do.
Damn, man.
But
I hope you get better, bro.
Bryan during this time brought up the idea of like, we should add Crystal Fleen to replace Kyle, and we should add this person to replace this person. And I was like, what? Like instantly, like we can't just replace, like these are like.
He was not a true friend then. He was not a genuinely true friend, bro. Like, he just thinking about himself at that point, bro. I would have been left that whole group, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm pretty sure y'all would have made it on YouTube way further than what Bryan has set up, bro. Like, he's just worried about himself. He started off with interviews. Then he got his group and stuff like that. And then he making weird, cringy videos, going on tours, taking people percentages, having people that's known for liking booty holes. It's a lot of things that's adding up that it's just at the it gets to a point, bro. It gets to a point. Like, I don't even know why you're in this video, bro. Like, I wish they can like just crop you out and just put a blank face over it, like your body or something.
Like, isn't it more than that? It was so weird.
Most talkative. I wonder why. Maybe it's because he had the most to gain and still had something to lose, as opposed to Alex and Johnny, who had pretty much.
I ain't gonna lie. I think they just all submitted to him just because he had more buzz than everybody, and he had probably a manager and plays, and he had a lot of stuff going on.
It's the only thing in their life taken away from them. And I need to stress this, they were fired right after being essentially kidnapped and financially abused into doing this tour. So it makes sense that they were insanely fucking depressed and bummed out. I mean, they barely want to look at the camera. And Johnny just doesn't have like the spunk in his voice that he normally does. It's fucking sad. But at least that's all over. These guys can put Bryan in the past, right?
I'm glad.
When I decided to get my
Man, I really feel bad for Johnny. I don't know his whole backstory, but it's crazy how people in this world will like use you when you're literally a human just like them. It's so sick, bro. So sick, bro. I'm so glad he's doing very well, but at least he can say he can smile. You know what I'm saying? At least he can smile, do what he love, even though he do be depressed. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this is the great upcoming for Johnny right now. I didn't know him until y'all, so, you know.
Right?
Whoa, look at these colors. New My Digital Escape 2.0. Featuring that guy who plays Apex Legends now. The guy who can't stop fucking women that aren't his girlfriend. And...
Dude, what a fucking... This
hey,
is
yo!
true. I've seen the My Digital Escape 2.0 lineup. So the My Digital Escape 2.0 lineup, because Alex and I eventually dipped out of it, and we were like, Bryan, we're not going to be in this channel with you. Bryan eventually moved into the same apartment as me and Alex. Me and Alex moved into our own because I was like, dude, I want to live with my girlfriend alone, take it further. And also, I need to get space from you because I don't like the way you're viewing things. So I moved out of Bryan's. I paid the last month of rent, and I moved to Anaheim. He moved into the same place eventually. He moved there because he wanted to kind of, I don't know, try to weasel his way back into my, like, you know, group.
Weird.
Me, I think. Mostly.
He started off with you.
It never happened, but he definitely tried to. And during that time is when he filmed the first video for My Digital Escape 2.0, which never actually happened, but they did film one video for it, which was the trailer, and it was with Eugenia Cooney, Social Repose, who were like my friends, you know, and Diego. And it was also filmed with Danny Edge, who was in Exclamation Point, which was a popular channel back then, and also featured on MDE back in the day. And Robbie. Oh yeah, and Crystal Fleen was also a part of it. I forgot about him. It was such a wild thing. And I was like, why did you think this was... It would have been one thing if he literally made a new channel and was like, hey, I'm going to try to do it again. We would have just laughed at it. But trying to take our channel and be like, hey, I'm going to do this. It was like, fuck, bro.
Yeah, you're weird. You're so weird, bro. Like, ugh.
Trace of this that I can find is the tweet announcing it, where a bunch of people in the comments are telling Bryan to go
yeah, so pretty much during this time, like every single one of us had like everyone shit on those comments as well, because we were like, fuck that. And I even showed a video. I took the song by Fall Out Boy saying we're going down, down. I took that song and I took My Digital Escape sub count because you could see it at the live reaction, and it was going down thousands like in a day or so. And I was like, I took that and I made it into a video and sped it up and took the Fall Out Boy song and I posted it on my YouTube channel being like unsubscribed from My Digital Escape. Clearly people get lost in the sauce, and this is even up to, this video doesn't go up to the years that ended later on when I tried to be his friend again, which also got way crazier because then I found out he like was really weird and fucked up.
Took the channel that all of them worked so hard to build, and he just got new members. It was the same channel.
That was back when M800 came in, a lot more true.
Bro, I know, like, the audience, like, bro, the people that you started off with that channel should stay like that, bro. It should stay like that. It's that simple, bro. But if y'all had to come to the part, like, you kicked them out and they left. You gotta have to explain it. Did he explain it to them, chat? That's probably one of the reasons why I would never probably make a group channel. Cause say if we ended up getting into beef, you know, people hold grudges and stuff like that. It ain't gonna never work out, bro. It's never gonna work out. Like, I don't know. I do collabs and stuff like that, but other than that, it's just like having another channel with somebody is just like, it's like having a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, like making sure they mental is straight so they can do the video or something, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, it's their time to edit the video or, you know, think of ideas, record. Like it just go hand in hand when it come to videos. Then you gotta actually put effort into the video that you don't even want to do, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot.
It did. Every year it meant a lot more, for sure.
800,000 subscribers or something like that. But it didn't pan out at all. In fact, I don't even think new videos were uploaded with the new members. But a big part of the backlash was after Johnny, Alex, and Shannon made videos speaking out about this. And this is where like all the information about Bryan being a shitty person kind of came to light. I watched all 3 of these videos, and I'm going to try to give the best song.
So like the reason why my video about this and Alex's video probably weren't the best also is because, like, at least for myself, I was still wanting to be friends with Bryan.
Wait.
Like,
Alex? Okay.
Maybe not to the full extent, but dude, he was like my best friend. You know what I mean? Like, he really was. Like, seeing like that shit fall apart. We had like our own like little skit show together called Johnny and Bryan, and it fucking, you know, like seeing all that shit just fall apart. I was like, I don't want it to like fall apart forever. And that's why even after I want to, like, you know, try to redeem this and have a friendship with this guy. And it didn't happen. Like, I tried to, but then it got really weird and he got like crazy again. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, there's so much good in you, but like, you just ruin it.
Bryan was threatening to sue them at this point. Bryan didn't want the former members of My Digital Escape to slander him. And if we've learned anything from this...
Are you serious, bro? Like, let's be honest, bro. Like, bro, you just in it for the money, bro. That's what it is, bro. You're in it for the money. Honestly, bro. You don't think people on the internet is bashing you, bro? You point out specific people that you knew about the whole issue, bro. They just bring it to light. They're fed up with your bull, bro. Even I know this from a third party perspective. I never heard of Bryan Star at all. Damien, whatever his name is. None of these people I never heard of. Johnny, the only person I know. He did the right thing, 100%, and they try to sue him. You're so weird. You're so lame, bro. Yeah, you deserve to fall off. Simple, bro. I don't know if people still support you, but I hope they get over it, bro. Because you don't deserve it, bro. You started off somewhat all right, bro. You was already rocky in the beginning doing the interviews and stuff like that. Being different, okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But the way that you treating your friends, your so-called friends, and suing them and kicking them out and taking 20%, making them do videos they don't want to do, all I see is all wrong in my head, bro. Everything that he just said is all wrong, bro. Like that, you're weird. You're just weird, like, bro.
This video, slandering is when you tell the truth. In summary, the 3 former members said that Bryan viewed them as tools. They weren't friends, they were just dollar signs. Even saying it was like working in a factory. Shannon mentions those things I mentioned earlier about the queer baiting and
took the fun out of YouTube, bro. That's so weird.
The hypersexual content. She even says that the analytics showed that the average viewers for MDE were 12 to 15-year-old girls. So that's not good stuff to be showing them. The theme of these videos were we were treated like shit, we were not valued. Bryan squeezed us dry, he dumped us off, and then once the dust settled, he started a brand new channel with new people. Or it wasn't even a new channel, it was the same channel, just with different members.
People,
and they weren't allowed to do anything about it because Bryan owned 100% of the channel. But imagine being in your late teens, being treated like a factory worker, having limited creative freedom, sacrificing working on your own channel, being degraded and humiliated, being dragged onto a tour and being bullied by a guy way older than you, all for you to be dumped out like you're trash. It's fucked. It's completely fucked up. It wasn't looking good for Bryan. Bryan released an apology. It was fucking...
He actually released 2 apologies.
Man, I don't care if you release 1, 2, 0 apologies. I don't want to hear your apologies, bro. You knew what you did, and you still care about it. I bet that video right there is monetized, bro. I bet, bro. It probably not no more. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. But I'm just talking shit. But listen, bro. Like, but come to a fact, bro. This is a fact. What you did was wrong. Simple as that, bro. Simple as that.
Because I watched them live and everyone else did as well. But
Bryan
released 1 apology. He didn't think it was good enough, so he took it down. Then he released another apology. And in my eyes, that just made it seem way more fake. It's like, what the fuck? Did you have to film this twice and post it? What the fuck?
Bro. That's weird.
There's only one more thing that happened with Bryan. At the lowest point of your career, what can you possibly do to fix things?
My name is Bryan, and I am gay.
Raise up that marginal shit.
You said that in the apology video? What does that have to do with you doing that to your peoples, bro? What does that gotta do with anything?
Shield of yours, Bryan. This is so fucking
the gay
scummy.
shield.
I don't think Bryan wanted to come out for any other reason than the fact.
Like, you know, when you come out, everybody gonna be on your side. But in this case, bro, we all know that don't even play. Now you just saying stuff, bro. Maybe you might be, but
that no one can say anything negative to the person coming out of the closet. Got to this point where Bryan wasn't relevant anymore in a positive or negative sense. He rarely did challenge videos. He didn't have friends or...
He did like start like hanging out with like John Jumper and Sebastian Meeps and all that stuff. He started doing like his little like new MDE group without calling it a collab channel, but it was like no one really vibed with it, and a lot of those guys were just like not the vibe, to be honest.
At this point, all he could do was his least popular content, which was talk about news in the scene, which was pretty hard to scrape together into a consistent schedule. And his final video was uploaded today, 5 years ago.
Rest in peace.
December 18th, 2017.
Wait, what? What happened?
Talk about news in the scene, which was pretty hard to scrape together into a consistent schedule. And his final video was uploaded today, 5 years ago.
Rest in
December
peace.
18th, 2017.
Wait, is he in jail or he passed away?
The reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to, you know, do something with my life. And people have told me that my videos help them get through a bad day, and you know, I just wanted to do something cool with my life.
Bryan Stars. Bryan Stars.
Bryan Stars.
Bryan Stars.
This video is cold, it's lifeless, and Bryan seems cold and lifeless too. He doesn't have friends, he doesn't have an audience that loves him anymore. And it seems like along the way, he lost the real Bryan. Clawed his way into doing a career that he loved, and he found a group of people who loved him, and he found friends, and he found the confidence to be who he wanted to be. I think that's really cool. I also think that Bryan developed a bit of a god complex. I think you're gonna lose yourself along the way. Like I said, I saw Bryan at 2015 Warped, and it was It was surreal to see this person. Even though I was angry at him, I didn't know he was covering up for Austin Jones, but I didn't like the fact that he wasn't speaking up for Damon and wasn't speaking out against Austin. I could also tell that at that point, Johnny was just a prop for Bryan. He was just a cute emo boy to help him sell tickets and get clicks for his thumbnails. I really wanted to say hi to Johnny because Johnny was right next to him when I saw Bryan, but I didn't.
Where my hi at? We supposed to be bros. You know what I'm saying? It's simple. That's how I look at it.
Because I knew I'd have to talk to Bryan if I went up to Johnny.
No, I don't want to fucking talk to you, dude. I have to talk to that curly-haired motherfucker. So that's the Bryan Stars story. At least that's part of it. Besides, you know, what happened after this video, which also exists, and maybe one day they'll get a story. But hopefully, for now, he just betters himself and grows, because you know that's all I actually want. I want him to better himself and grow. But when I became his friend again, he was just not that person. So yeah.
Yeah, nah, I wouldn't be his friends neither, bro. And this video is a year old, I'm pretty sure. They talk about his more details. Ain't even no point to talk about him no more. Simple. Anyway, man, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe. This video was very interesting. I didn't know nothing about this Bryan Stars guy. Anyways, man, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.